The song Planet Rock is a classic hip-hop song by Afrika Bambaataa and the Soul Sonic Force. In this video, we're going to break down how this legendary song came to be. Planet Rock is so iconic from its robotic intro calling the nation of hip-hop fans to the dance floor for a dance-off where everyone gets funky, where then the beat drops out of nowhere with an electronic explosion sound that is legendary and has been sampled ever since. If that isn't enough, then the Soul Sonic Force come in commanding attention on top of a flurry of hard-hitting mechanical drums and lasers shooting at your ears like a space war. Planet Rock is a song that is on every B-Boys playlist and will stay there forever. The song started out as a single but was then released on Planet Rock, the album, in 1986, put out by Afrika Bambaataa's record label, Tommy Boy Records. The song is track number 1 on the album, along with other hits like Looking for the Perfect Beat and Renegades of Funk, which later was redone by Rage Against the Machine. The original version is 6 minutes and 25 seconds long and was Bambaataa and the Soul Sonic Force's first single from that album, released on April 17, 1982, years before the album came out. The composers are listed as Arthur Baker, who also produced the track, John Robbie, who went on to produce the group's second single Looking for the Perfect Beat, and the Soul Sonic Force. The lyricists are Afrika Bambaataa, Arthur Baker, MC Globe, Mr. Biggs, and Pow Wow of the Soul Sonic Force. Arthur Baker, born in Boston, was a DJ, producer, and writer for Dance Music Report, a magazine owned by Tom Silverman, who founded Tommy Boy Records. Silverman felt that the label needed an increase in album sales and put the two men together. Arthur Baker, the only producer he knew, and Afrika Bambaataa. They first released the single Jazzy Sensation, which was a success, selling 30,000 records. Silverman suggested a 2-record follow-up deal, which led to Planet Rock. The song's background is a love letter to the German electric group Kraftwerk, which Bambaataa and Baker were big fans of. Bambaataa at the time was also heavily influenced by the electronic groups Yellow Magic Orchestra and Gary Newman. Baker stated that he had heard Kraftwerk's numbers being played at the Magic Factory in Brooklyn and saw young black men asking, "What's that beat?" So he knew that if he was to use the beat and add in an element of street, it was going to work. John Robbie was a guitarist and synthesizer player who lived in New York. He was a die-hard rock musician who hated disco music, which at the time was still going. Robbie met Bambaataa and was asked if he could play similar to Kraftwerk's style. Robbie got out his synthesizer and the rest was history. Bambaataa contacted the manager Tom Silverman and asked him if he could come play on the song Planet Rock. Robbie recalls that the three men working together was an unlikely mix of talents, as much as a phenomenon as the record itself. People from totally different backgrounds with completely dissimilar tastes and styles. At the time, I remember feeling pretty bizarre, said Robbie. Bambaataa commented that a lot of people think that they sampled Kraftwerk, but actually had Robbie replay the bass lines and whatnot to make it sound like they were sampling the record. Bambaataa, Robbie, and Baker recorded the song at Intergalactic Studio. The group had previously recorded the song Jazzy Sensation there. Planet Rock didn't have a large budget, so they had to record the song in 3 all-night sessions. First night they developed the music and some of the rap. The next night they worked on the rapping, and the final night they mixed it and recorded. The studio was fairly basic, as it only had a Neve console, Stutter 24-track tape machine, UREI monitors, Lexicon PCM41 digital delay, a Sony Reverb, Fairflight CMI digital synth, Micro Moog, and a Prophet 5 synthesizer. The group lacked a Roland TR-808 drum machine, the most iconic of all hip-hop drum machines. They ended up finding one advertised in the Village Voice, the same magazine that first printed the words hip-hop in a Bambaataa interview done previously. The advertisement read, "Man with drum machine, $20 a session." The musician's name was Joe, and the group played him Kraftwerk's numbers alongside the song Super Sporn, done by Captain Sky, and asked if he could program that into the drum machine. The explosion sound was found on the Fairflight CMI, and Bambaataa's electronic vocal sound was a sound effect on the Lexicon PCM41. Story goes that when the Soul Sonic Force came in and first heard the beat, they hated it. They wanted to rap on something closer to Jazzy Sensation and other songs on the charts at the time. Baker recalls Mr. Biggs refusing to rap on it. Globe convinced the group to rap on it, but not exactly on beat. This would be known as MC popping. Globe wrote all of the lyrics except for the chorus, which Baker wrote. Baker admitted that he stole the line, "Rock, rock, the planet rock, don't stop," from the record Body Music by the Strikers, which had the line, "Punk rock to the punk rock, don't stop." They had Jay Burnett, the song engineer, perform the Planet Rock Don't Stop lyrics. The z part came from when Pow Wow forgot the lyrics but liked the sound and they kept it. Approximately 30 hours were spent recording and mixing Planet Rock before the single was mastered, then remastered, done by Herb Powers Jr. Prior to the release of Planet Rock, Baker played the song in various record stores in New York, asking listeners what they thought. Baker said 90% of the people wanted to buy it right away. One person even offered $200 for the acetate. Today, the acetate version must be worth a lot. That same acetate record had blown up the speakers at the Music Factory record shop in Brooklyn due to the excessive low end, or bass, when played for the store. The song had only been available for 90 days when Jazzy Jay heard the song on the radio and called Bambaataa to tell them the news. They were in shock as earlier meetings with radio stations weren't successful, as they thought hip-hop wasn't a genre, but rather a fad. When Planet Rock first dropped in 1982, it was a new sound for music and became known as electro style and/or hip-hop. The single went gold in the United States as the song started getting airtime on the radio. The band Kraftwerk, whom the song was sampled from, approached Tommy Boy Records and manager Tom Silverman to discuss permission rights. The two parties agreed to give Kraftwerk $1 for every record sold. Silverman, the businessman he is, then turned around and raised the price of the single to make a return on the record. The song was met with great reception, as it had been praised by the whole music industry as a very important song in modern history. Sounds magazine in the UK declared the song a wild party monster, which once heard is never forgotten. NME Magazine, Billboard Magazine, and The Village Voice placed the track as one of the most important songs of 1982. Some say that this song is just as influential as Rapper's Delight. Melody Maker in 1984 wrote that Planet Rock was the single most influential record in the 1980s, noting that it had spawned the electro-funk genre and changed how mainstream soul is conceived, recorded, and mixed. The New York Times called Planet Rock the most influential black pop record of 1982. Melly Mel of the Furious Five said that Planet Rock hurt all the other rappers because Bambaataa and his crew were the only ones to have that real futuristic synthesized sound. It hurt because it ripped everything in a different dimension, said Melly Mel. In 1990, Spin Magazine stated that the song was year zero of the new dance music, as it was a strong influence on Miami bass, Detroit techno, and Los Angeles hip-hop. AllMusic Database declared that no other song captures the electro era quite like Planet Rock. In 2012, Rolling Stone magazine polled 33 music journalists, executives, hip-hop producers, and rappers to create the 50 greatest hip-hop songs of all time. Planet Rock was placed as number 3. The song hit number 48 on the Billboard Hot 100 on September 11, 1982, and spent 11 weeks on the charts. Number 3 on the Dance Disco Top 80, number 4 on the Hot Soul Singles, and number 53 on the UK charts. The single went gold by October 1982 and sold over 1 million units. Since then, Planet Rock has been re-released and remixed many times, never living up to the original though. Some of the remixes were done by Paul Oakenfold, which was his number 1 charting single in the UK, DJ Magic Mike, Carl Bartos, 808 State, K Trinata, and Boys Noise. Plus, the song had a major influence on many musicians, such as Two Live Crew, Run DMC, A Guy Called Gerald, Nucleus, Fatboy Slim, and Norman Cook of the House Martins, who said he began DJing at 18 after he heard Planet Rock. Author Kurt B. Riley described Planet Rock as a fusion of hip-hop breaks and an icy synthesizer lines lifted from Kraftwerk that laid the blueprint for the genre dubbed electro. The legendary hip-hop producer Rick Rubin said that at the time we barely considered it a rap record. DJ Muggs of Cypress Hill said that on the West Coast, hip-hop had not come around until 1984, so people listening to it called it funk. Baker described the sound of Planet Rock as a marriage of electronic music with street culture and black music. As we look back, we see that Planet Rock had a monumental moment in music history and still to this day defines and shapes hip-hop and electronic music genres. So this has been your Urban Sound Study. I'm your boy Sound Selector Zachariah, and this has been the breakdown of Planet Rock. You heard?